Welcome to the second Lessons and Profits video for October 2023. So here we're going to be looking through a number of the plays this month. What did we learn? What did we profit from? And a little look at some of the techniques. £46.07 loss on Trelleborgs. That's a bit of a hefty loss, isn't it? But not so. At footballtradingprofits.com, we've found a way to have a play, but break even if it doesn't quite work out. So this was a loss in the match odds market, but it profited elsewhere. It's a strategy for members only. The 0-2, the scoreline we profited on. So it's a very unique strategy we used to cover a 0-2 scoreline for an underdog, while still favouring the favourite, in this case Augrit. So the whole story's not been shown here. You've got a loss of 46 quid, but it was compensated for elsewhere. That's what you'll learn at footballtradingprofits.com, how to use different markets for the same bet. Internationals. It's been International Week in October, hasn't it? A couple of those. It can be tough to trust, tough to read, because when we've got league football, we've got a background, a foundation of solid form to work off. With internationals, these are effectively derby-style matches, one-off affairs. In this particular case, Italy scored first. This is your standard trade. If you fancied the favourite, regardless of whether the underdog scored first or not, you can make some nice money on it. My standard stake, £40 minus commission, you'll see there. And England managed to get the win. Had it ended a draw, I would have lost £7.35. In certain matches, the halftime markets can provide some real opportunities. I like this particular market. It's called the halftime score market. Why do I like it? Well, it gives you an opportunity to have a punt at a bigger return. In this case, £51.90p for any unquoted. Any unquoted being the first team to score 3 goals in a match. This is an international match. Malta had scored first. Now, this is a lesson for you. If an underdog scores first and early, particularly against a rock-solid favourite in Ukraine, do have a look in the half-time markets. In this particular instance, we've gone the half-time score market. I want to break even on the 1-1. I want to load profit on the 1-2 in case Ukraine can pull it off. And in case Ukraine can turn up and get those 3 goals before half-time, I'll win 51 quid. As it happened, £20 profit there on the 1-2. So this was all placed while Malta were leading 1-0. So lesson here for you, half-time markets can provide you with some real value, but you do have some problems. You've got an instant time limit, don't you? That's why you're getting better odds. Liability's a little high here, £11.41 on a team who were, let's face it, bottom of the league in the Standard League season. This is a relegation group battle. So a couple of dodge pots. And in retrospect, it looked as if that's £11.41. A little too out of kilter when dealing with dodge pots. So the lesson to learn here is if sides have shown a season-long inability to get out of the bottom 3, then do temper your enthusiasm. And in tempering your enthusiasm, you'll temper your stakes. But we were lined up for a possible big win. If bottom of the league could falter, they actually ended up winning this match. Risk is kept relatively low, but this is, in contrast, relatively high for me. No-lose plays. I love a no-lose play because you can't lose. What I like to do is, well, you've got a number of options. I call them options at exit. You've got to weigh up the amount of time left, the in-play stats, etc. But what I tend to like to do, if I fancy one side, is to load profit on them, whilst you're ensuring a modest profit on the underdog, or the worst case scenario result. As in this case, we've got 58 quid on Cremonese to win. £59 if it's a draw. But Sud Tirol couldn't quite be knocked off their perch. But we still come out of it with a profit. More importantly, we don't come out with a loss. New manager, new change. Don't forget, whenever you see a new manager, like we've got a new manager for Wolverhampton Wanderers at the time of making this video, it could engender a sudden change, or it could also not quite work out. But in this particular case, Wolves' new manager has got them a draw and a win in 2 matches. So when Bournemouth took the lead, I was umming and ahhing here. Do we trust a new manager team? Well, I decided to take the plunge, and as you can see, Wolves provided us with a modest return. Is there a good time to lay Man City? Well, there is, yes. This particular October, we've seen some interesting weekends which are sandwiched in between major competitions. We've had one such weekend, post-international, pre-Champions League. Now, can you imagine? I tell my members this, post-international. Possible fatigue, pre-Champions League. Possible distraction. Man City, 2 consecutive defeats is most un-Man City-like. Coming into this particular match with Brighton, they were pre-Champions League, and we know Brighton have goals in them, don't we? So there's no harm in laying Manchester City at very, very low odds. £4.32 liability to win 141 quid. And Brighton did score. So we were given a bit of a chance. But as you can see, liability kept low. But we did lay Man City because they are vulnerable, or could be vulnerable, pre-Champions League. Specialist markets. I like to use specialist ad hoc markets for special matches. In this particular case, we've got Rennes +2. What is this market? This gives Rennes a 2-goal head start in this particular match. I think it might be worth having a look at this match. This was the match in question. Now, I will leave this to you. Why would I have used the Rennes +2 market here? So I'll leave that little puzzler for you, and we'll go back to the presentation. Here's another look at the half-time score market. It's the kind of technique I used in the previous example, where I'd like to load profit on the 1-1 scoreline, because the favourites, Monaco, have conceded the first goal, and I think Monaco look very strong indeed here today. Could get a score or get an equaliser before half-time. So I'm going to have a go. 1-1, break-even-ish. We want to load profit on the 2-1 and the any unquoted. That's how I like to do it. Relatively high liability. That's not the norm in this particular market. But as it happened, Monaco got the goal we needed. So at least we didn't lose, and we come out of it with a bit of a profit. The technique I'm using here is called variable profit Dutching. I would recommend you Google variable profit Dutching. Effectively, what variable profit Dutching is, translated into English, you can back 1, 2, or 3 or more outcomes in a market, and you can change the amount of profit you want on each outcome. It's a great tool to use in this half-time score market and in correct score markets. And indeed, in the match odds markets, you've seen me loading profit on a certain side, favouring them. This is one of the techniques you can use, variable profit Dutching. Now, the shortcut to variable profit Dutching is to use trading software. So if you're going to be pursuing a future as a football trader, you will need football trading software. Dealing with Betfair's exchange is like riding a horse to your 7-Eleven when you've got a motorbike in the drive. It's a bit old school. The Betfair exchange website software is a prerequisite, really, I would say, if you're going to be taking your football trading seriously. Getting while they're hot. Latch on to these sides who are suddenly, out of nowhere, putting together a quite outstanding run of results. We have Stuttgart in the German Bundesliga, We've got Girona in Spanish Primera Liga. This is a Spanish Primera Liga, where the top two are normally Barcelona and Real Madrid. Here we have a case of this Girona side very strongly favoured at home. This is their starting price, as you can see, 1.39. That gives us a clue. Why were they 1.39? Well, they're in such good form, second in the league, scoring 2+ goals for fun. And they're playing an Almeria side who are struggling really badly. But this Almeria side have taken a 0-2 lead, and that's one of our strategy plays. As you can see, when it comes good, it comes good. That's a nice 68 quid guaranteed profit, regardless of the result. You can sit back, enjoy the match, have a cup of tea. Cercle Brugge and Ghent. What market are we using here? This is the under 1.5 goal market. Now, footballtradingprofits.com members know why we use the under 1.5 goals market. Now, this £20.40 is not a loss. It may look a loss, but in the context of the trading for this Cercle Brugge Ghent match, it wasn't a loss. It was a tolerable loss. We actually came out of the match with a profit. So see if you can suss out why I use the over under 1.5 goals market. You'll learn why at a live chat webinar at footballtradingprofits.com. Low risk, big rewards. It's always with a reason though. Here, Nantes in play stats feeds suggested a possible comeback here with home advantage against Montpellier, but they couldn't quite pull it off. Not Nantes. I was favouring Montpellier on this particular occasion. Let's break off and have a quick look at this particular match. Here's the match in question. Looks to be a 2-0 lead for Nantes. There must have been a reason why I fancied this Montpellier side. It's normally the reason will appear in the in-play stats. Second half, 5 shots on target, 2 shots off, 3 corners to 2. That's probably what caught my attention, as indeed would have been the short odds for Nantes, making it one of those, why not have a go? I would always recommend to my members to have a go, not think, oh, they can't pull this one off. We've had 200 to 1 winners in the same weekend, and if we hadn't had a go for a very small liability, for big potential reward, then we'd have never known. So I do encourage it. Keep your liability low, but always with a reason. 98p profit. Yeah, I'll get on the private jet, head off to Monaco and look at villas and super yachts. My head's spinning. What am I going to do with this 98p? But doesn't tell the whole story. This was another match where I looked for one team to win, Frosinone on this occasion. But if they didn't win, I didn't want to make a loss. I could have made 21 quid on the draw and an effective break-even on Bologna. So I was looking, I think this match ended 2-1. So Frosinone did get a goal back, but couldn't get that second goal, which I craved. But I didn't lose out. We were involved to the death. And don't forget, there's other options here. This was my preferred option, loading up profit on one particular side. But what you can do also is to spread the profit as soon as the profit arrives. So these are called options at exit. No one match will replicate another. So you've got to be flexible in your approaches, especially to exiting the market. You can't exit with a rigid rules-based exit strategy. You've got to weigh up the amount of time left, the in-play stats, whether there's a red card, momentum, motivation, a number of other factors can go into making your decision whether to get stuck in, have a go at the bigger profit, as I've done on this occasion, or take your green screen once it presents itself. It would have presented itself in this match at 2-1. What you'll get for free when you join Football Trading Profits is 2 free live chat webinars each month. Look over my shoulder as I take you through the strategies and some lessons to learn and some profits to be made. trading in live matches in real time with real money. We've also got a simulation mode so we can try out new ideas in a live environment. That's the best time to play it out, in the live environment. There's no point to paper trading. If it looks good on paper, but it doesn't translate to the real world, there's no point to it. So we try our ideas out in the real world, in front of your eyes. Sometimes you can pick up one or two really solid strategies. I also provide free English Premier League research every Friday, Saturday and Sunday for you. So save yourself the effort. Pop along, join Football Trading Profits community website for free and access this Premier League research for free. It's also a free introductory trading course. We take you through the very basics from research to trading angles and all the rest to make your trading a success. So go to footballtradingprofits.com and sign up for free. Do wait for this pop-up box. The pop-up box resemble what you see below. So it's a free trading course, Betfair Trading Made Easy. You get 5 free video lessons. And we can get you on an email list as well. We can send you an e-letter every Friday. It'll just give you an update on what's been occurring, any profits made the previous week, any talking points that have come and gone, such as the international break or teams underperforming pre and post Champions League. We will discuss a number of topics pertinent to football trading. So come along, footballtradingprofits.com. Wait for the pop-up box, sign up, get your free video lessons, and then join the Football Trading Network's Profits Network site. It's at football-trading-profits.mn.co. Simply click on the join button here, fill in the details, and you'll have access to all of these free resources. I look forward to seeing you over at footballtradingprofits.mn.co. Completely free, remember? And I hope you'll join me over the course of the season for live chat webinars, Telegram tips, and much, much more.